We talk about stuff. We talk about stuff. Freaking hate that song. Hello, everybody. Welcome to We Talk About Stuff, the podcast where we do exactly that. My name is Anthony, and today I am joined with my very good friend, the Stupendous Wave.
I love how you refer to 3 chords as a song.
It's 2 chords. I just played one of them twice.
Oh, okay. Well, that's adorable.
Yep, it's pretty adorable. So I think this is going to be a pretty aggravating podcast because we're mad, but we'll get to all that in the future. So, first off, I want to make an announcement. So, me and Stupes had this plan that we want one of you guys to be in the podcast. So what we're going to do is you have to subscribe to this channel, and then you have to leave a comment, and it just has to be the best comment. So it's got to be either really funny or just really cool, or I'm just going to read them, and whichever one I think is the best, I'm going to pick, and then you could be in the podcast. And just so I know that
podcast, you said every podcast.
No, I didn't say every podcast. You could be in the next podcast. And the way you could let me know that the comment you left is a comment, or that you want to be in the podcast because of that comment, at the end of it, just write hashtag pick me. That'll be the easiest way.
What's the hashtag again?
Hashtag pick me.
Pick me.
Yeah, that's how I know you want to be in the next one. And then we'll contact you, and we'll get you on Skype, and then we'll do a podcast with you. So hopefully you guys all enjoy that.
Yeah, make sure you have a Skype account.
Yeah, make sure you have a Skype account. Make sure you subscribe to the
YouTube channel because it will be checked.
We'll check it. Jesus.
Also, like the video.
Oh yeah, like the video. Just be a good person.
Do those. That's also a requirement.
Yeah.
But do those 3 things. Leave a comment. Just the best, funniest comment you can think of.
Just something that I'm gonna love.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel and leave a like. And yes, you can be in it with me and that other guy.
Who's the other guy?
You.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I know, right?
So
IKR.
Let's start with the news.
The news.
That's right, you heard the news. Okay, so first little bit of news is that apparently Samuel L. Jackson is in talks to be in the new King Kong reboot. So what do you think about that?
I think good.
I think good too.
No, that's great. Samuel L. Jackson.
I mean,
he's a good actor.
With this King Kong movie,
actor, one of the best.
Yeah. With this King Kong movie, it seems like they're just going after such great talent. So right now, as it stands, it seems that the cast is going to be Tom Hiddleston, Russell Crowe, Samuel L. Jackson, and Brie Larson. I think those are like the people that are most likely going to be it. Anything could happen, but
with Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson officially assigned on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Russell Crowe and Sam Jackson are still in talks, but I'm really excited for that. I hope this works out because I love Sam Jackson. In other news, there has been a Sony.
There has been a murder.
Stop quoting The Office. Sony has released a film slate for like the next couple years. And on that film slate, which I don't think this was supposed to be an announcement. It was just on the slate and nobody seemed to mention it ever before, but Jumanji is getting rebooted.
The Robin Williams Jumanji?
Yeah, the Robin Williams Jumanji. So I shouldn't say rebooted because for all I know it could be a sequel somehow. I guess that would make sense, but it's just called Jumanji at this point. So, what do you think about a new Jumanji or a sequel to Jumanji?
You know, Jumanji, it's like so close to my heart. I remember going over actually to my neighbor's house, and they would always let us borrow movies. Like we could pick movies. It was like a freaking DVD store, and they were awesome. They were called Dante and Mecca, and they were just such awesome people.
Shout out to Dante and Mecca.
Not shout out. You'll never watch this, but you guys were awesome neighbors. Anyway, Jumanji was like the one that I always got. It was like, yeah. And I actually, it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And my parents actually bought it for me because I was taking their DVD so often, just going over there and asking if I could borrow Jumanji all the time. And I was a little kid. I'm like 4 or 5 years old. But yeah, so they bought Jumanji for me, and man, that movie I freaking watched all the time. Spiders creeped me out. The mosquitoes were awesome.
Oh yeah, they were like piercing through the roof of the car.
Yeah, the lion. I always loved Robin Williams. I love how the movie ended, like with them go. Do we really need a spoiler alert for Jumanji?
Yeah,
No.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe there are probably people that haven't seen it now.
Well, I love how they just like go back in time and they get to relive everything and do it freaking right this time. And then it cuts back further, and like they're married, and then they see the little kids. It's like, oh my gosh, I love that. And that's one of the best feel-good movies ever.
Yeah,
I love that. Monkeys on motorcycles, funny, just amazing. Bad CGI, but
yeah, I wanted to bring that up. That those monkeys looked horrible. Like especially, I'm sure back in the day it was fine, but now when you look at it, it's just like, oh my god.
That all being said,
imagine watching Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and then immediately watching Jumanji. You'd be so mad at the monkeys.
I just don't want them to touch it, man. There's just certain things you don't touch.
Yeah, especially, I feel weird about it now that Robin Williams has passed.
Who would they cast as that?
I don't know.
Robin Williams. Because I can't think of anybody.
Yeah. And like one of my absolute favorite parts of Jumanji, and one of my favorite just Robin Williams like scenes ever, is when he gets out of the game in the very beginning and he's covered in leaves and he has like the giant beard and he has no idea what's happening. And like then my favorite part is when he's so happy about the toilet paper. And he's like, I've been using leaves for 26 years or whatever. I really loved that movie.
Do not touch.
I mean, I'm fine. It's not like they're getting rid of the old one if they remake it. And who knows? It could be great. But that's just a little piece of news. And there you all go. You learned a little news. On to more news. The Doctor Strange cinematographer has recently said that this movie will be Marvel's Fantasia. How do you feel about that?
Disney Fantasia?
Disney Fantasia. That's just talking about like the way the movie will look.
Sure. That's how I feel. It's like
the way I thought of it is I really thought that was pretty cool. He elaborated more on it, and he was saying that it's going to
explain Fantasia to us.
Well, I don't know. I've never saw Fantasia. I've seen scenes from Fantasia. No, I've never seen it because that movie was made in like 1941. I'm pretty sure that's actually the year it was made. So, but that movie, I haven't seen the whole movie. I have seen parts of it, and if you see it, it looks kind of like it looks very Doctor Strange, like the color scheme, and if the way he explained it is that the movie's gonna explore a lot of different dimensions. And I think it's going to be a lot of the movie exploring those dimensions.
Dimensions? Dormammu? Question mark?
Or we'll get more into dimensions when we talk about Fantastic Four.
Dormammu.
So yeah, Dormammu is that's like one of the big things that everybody's talking about. How they're going to have him in one of those dimensions. And then I think there's going to be another like dimension with Adam Warlock in it. I think that's one of the big.
So what Infinity Stone could we be seeing here?
Soul Gem, dude. Right? We haven't seen the Soul Gem and we haven't seen the Time Gem.
And where do you think the Time Gem is going to show up?
Infinity War.
Really? You think that's the one where it's just going to be like, here you go?
Yeah, because I feel like.
Not Guardians 2. You think they'll skip out on it?
Yeah. I don't want them to do it in Guardians 2 because they already did it in Guardians. And I feel like if they added another Infinity Stone, it would just be like one of those, you know, playing on the same beats as the first movie type of things. They could put it in Guardians 2. You know what? They could even put it in Thor Ragnarok if they wanted. But it's just like I feel like unless unless the Time Stone has little to do with the Guardians and more to do with Thanos, then I'm up for that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool to see Thanos in Guardians 2 looking for the gems and finding the time gem, right?
Yeah.
I think that would work pretty well, actually. I just don't want to see the Guardians go after it.
Yeah.
Or, like, because I don't want them to play on the same beats.
Really, think about it. The Guardians know more about the gems than the Avengers do.
Yeah, they do, because they've seen the whole, PowerPoint presentation from the Collector.
Exactly.
So, also, in Marvel news, Humberto Gonzalez, the guy who's currently running Heroic Hollywood, he made an article today saying that he knows the teams in Captain America Civil War. He knows who's on whose side. So, and not only this, but if you don't know who Humberto Gonzalez is, he generally has the right information. If you remember, Stupes, those pieces of concept art of the of Civil War with the new Iron Man suit and Captain America, the Bleeding Edge armor, that was leaked from Humberto Gonzalez. He's the guy who leaked all that stuff.
Sweet.
So he has come up with a list, and I have read the list, and Stupes hasn't read the list. So he is going to guess the teams, and I am going to tell him if he is right or wrong. So let's start out with Captain America's team. Who do you think is on Cap's team?
I think Captain America is on Captain America's team.
You know what? You're already 1 for 1.
Yes!
Okay.
Okay, I'm doing good. What's next?
You guess. Tell me when you're done guessing, and I'll tell you if you got any of them wrong.
Let's go character by character.
Okay. Who's your next character?
You tell me.
Okay, you know what? I'll just randomize them, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, randomize.
Okay.
Just pick.
Scarlet Witch.
Cap. Did I get it?
I'm not telling you until the end.
Come on, tell me.
Okay, you got it.
I got him. Because Hawkeye's probably on Cap's team, and Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye are probably like bros now. Right?
That's a great point. I never even thought of it like that.
Okay. I hope I get every single one. Okay.
Ant-Man.
Shoot. I feel like he's got like the weapon stuff in common with like Tony Stark, but it's like Hank Pym just did nothing but badmouth Tony Stark and like Ant-Man, right? He's like, oh, that piece of crap armor, when that piece of crap dude, and it's like I feel like Falcon's pretty much on Cap's side, and Falcon is the one that knows Ant-Man the best. Ant-Man's on Cap's team.
Correct.
Yeah, got him.
Black Widow.
Iron Man.
Very good.
Yes.
Falcon.
Cap.
War Machine.
Iron Man.
The Vision.
Iron Man.
Yeah, there was such a long pause.
Did I get it?
Yes, you did.
Oh.
Now, here are the two exciting ones.
I'm 100% right now, guys.
You are. You're actually 100% right now. Here are the two exciting ones. You ready?
Yeah.
The Winter Soldier.
Can I guess the other one first?
No. Whose side is the Winter Soldier on?
If you say Iron Man, I'm gonna be shocked. Cap.
You are correct.
Oh my god, you jerk!
And then the last one.
Why would you do that? You're trying
Could you guess who the last hero is?
What do I win?
You win a high five.
Awesome.
Could you guess who the last hero is?
Who the last hero is?
Yeah.
Have we seen this hero before?
I am not answering that question.
Black Panther.
Stupes, tell me which team Spider-Man is on.
Wait, why is Black Panther not on there?
Because the way I think it's working is Black Panther is going to be in the middle. Like, he's not going to be on a side.
You tricked me!
Which side is Spider-Man on?
Well, in the comics, he started off with Tony Stark, so I'm going to say Iron Man.
Very good.
100%!
You've nailed them all.
Hashtag impressed.
I didn't think you'd get Black Widow. Because I thought that Black Widow was going to be on Cap's side, because she seems to be on Cap's side for, like, every movie.
Nah, she's probably, like, all for regulating people. Though.
Yeah, but at the same time, she is, like, can't be trusted crazy person.
So Black Panther's going to be in the middle, huh?
Yeah, from what I understand, Black Panther's going to be in the middle, which makes a lot of sense. Because, you know, why would he pick a side? Why would he even be involved with these people? And I think the answer to that question is going to be vibranium. And there's going to be some problem with vibranium. I'm not sure what it is, but I think the actual Civil War, other than the Registration Act, there's going to be some big vibranium thing. They got to go back to Wakanda.
Yeah. Also, you totally tried to trick me with the whole Winter Soldier thing. Also, I really like the Ant-Man is on Cap's team.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite one, actually.
You know what I don't like about this list?
Talk so much crap about Stark.
I think this list is great, except for I look at it and I'm like, why does this team seem outnumbered? Because Captain America, as I'll repeat, has Hawkeye the Falcon, Scarlet Witch, who is crazy powerful, Ant-Man and the Winter Soldier. And then Iron Man, you know what? Nah, I take it back. Because Iron Man has Vision, Spider-Man, Black Widow, and War Machine. And Iron Man and War Machine, that's like having two Iron Men, basically. And then Black Widow is a great assassin. And the Vision is like a god made of vibranium.
You want to know what else is interesting? Scarlet Witch and Vision, different teams.
Yeah. Because they like totally bang in the comics and stuff.
That is not why.
Well, that is why. That's exactly why.
Well, not yet. They haven't done it.
Yeah, they haven't done it in the movies, but they didn't. When I say they're actually, if anybody doesn't know, they actually are married in the comic books, and that's a big, crazy, weird dynamic. That
what a brave android that is.
Yeah, what if she's
crazy.
I wouldn't marry Scarlet Witch.
No matter how beautiful she is.
Yeah, she'd rip your heart out.
Insane.
She'd rip your heart out and bend your vibranium chest.
Oh my gosh. What a crazy person.
All of this seems to be pretty cool news, right, Stupes?
The point of the news is...
Oh, wait, and actually there's another little bit of Civil War news that I wanted to talk about. And spoilers, like big spoilers, if you're listening to this and you don't like spoilers, even though this isn't that big of a spoiler, it doesn't really matter, but it matters a ton at the same time.
You're going to spoil me?
No, I'm not going to spoil you. I think you actually know this. I think I told you this already.
Okay.
But I want to talk about it. Apparently in this movie, Civil War, we are going to see the death of T'Chaka.
Which is Black Panther's father, by the way.
Yeah, if you don't know the way the Black Panther story works, is that Wakanda, I don't know how it's going to be represented in this universe or how it's going to look in this universe. Because I know we've kind of been there, but we also kind of haven't. And
do we know who's playing T'Chaka?
No, we don't. And that's the thing. Like people are saying, it's either that they had finished filming with him and they just kept it under wraps, or or I don't know. It's just nobody knows who he is yet. So what everybody, or what I don't know if everybody's thinking about this, but if the way it works is Wakanda is like a super advanced, but also very like old school tribal civilization, where the leader of the civilization is the Black Panther, and the Black Panther that's well known in the comics that we're getting in this movie, his name is T'Challa, and his father is T'Chaka, and he dies, and then the mantle of the Black Panther is passed to T'Challa. That's the Black Panther we find in the Avengers. So it's cool that we're going to see that story happen, because I thought they would just throw Black Panther in there and it would be kind of weird. But now that I know they're actually going to give you his origin in Civil War, I think this movie is going to go in a lot of cool places.
Mm-hmm. Also, he has his own movie coming.
Yeah, he has his own movie. And what is it, 2018 now? Or
2018.
It used to be 2017, but then we got a Spider-Man in the universe, which I'm fine with. You remember how everybody was so mad at that?
You're fine with having Spider-Man?
Yeah. Do you remember how people were getting mad? Where it's like, oh, they added Spider-Man and they had to push back Black Panther. They had to push it back, and it's like, yeah, but you know why they had to push it back? Because they got Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like,
also, we should see, like, I think we're going to see a lot of one-on-one battles in Civil War.
Yeah, I think so,
I mean,
too.
Obviously it's going to be Cap versus Iron Man. I'm going to say it's actually going to be Scarlet Witch versus Vision, too.
Yeah, because I don't want to see Scarlet Witch fight War Machine or Black Widow, because she would kill him. She would just...
Who's going to be War Machine's sparring partner?
Maybe Ant-Man?
Oh, shoot.
Or Falcon. Wait.
I love the way Ant-Man is explained, though, that that Ant-Man suit is more powerful than the Iron Man suit.
Yeah, this is not some cute technology like the Iron Man suit.
And it's also a lot more difficult to use.
Yeah. I love how...
Fantastic Four Ant-Man's so good.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
Ant-Man is a great movie, dude. I've been saying it forever.
Well, I think it's not as good as you think it is, but it's really good.
I think it's great. And the only reason I think it's great, and I mean there's a million reasons why I think it's great, is because it took a superhero movie and it kind of flipped it on its head, and it was really funny and it was really clever and there was great acting in it. And it's like, yeah, the hero or the villain didn't get a ton of screen time, but it's still a great movie, and the villain was actually really good. He was just lacking screen time.
When do you think we'll see a trailer for Civil War?
I think within the next 2 months. And not only that, but they're actually playing a trailer for Civil War on August 15th at D23. But that's not going to leak because they take everybody's phones.
Maybe we can get a description, though.
Yeah, we'll definitely get descriptions, which will be amazing. So, we'll probably do a podcast on that. And the last little bit of news, I just remembered this, so I'm going to throw it in for a second, is the Deadpool trailer.
What about JW?
Oh, yeah, that's news, too. We'll talk about that in a second after we're done. You know what? No, let's talk about JW first. So, Colin Trevorrow has recently said that the next Jurassic World movie, Jurassic Park, Jurassic War, whatever it's going to be called, is not going to take place in a theme park. So, I really like this because... Or, did he also say... What else did he say? Did he say anything else?
Not really.
Well...
But what a lot of people are saying is that it will take place partially on an island and partially not.
Which, that sounds very Lost World to me.
Nah, because the Lost World felt like tacked on at the end.
It does feel tacked on at the end. But I'm wondering if it's not, going to be on the island the entire time. Where do you go that isn't the island?
Also, he's talked about he wants to explore animals' relationships with the dinosaurs' relationships with other animals.
That's interesting.
That's really interesting. I'm thinking like, could we be seeing these animals in the wild again, but this time not on their own, but possibly with coexisting with other animals?
That would be really weird and cool. Like, because where are these other animals? Where are
We
they
don't
eating?
know.
I know, but like that's what makes it interesting. Is like, okay, if they're going to be interacting with other animals, where are these other animals? Where is it taking place? Are they bringing them to? Maybe they're using other animals to train them. Actually, wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah.
Like maybe if they do the whole militarized dinosaur type thing, they could be using dogs to train raptors. And you know what? I know that sounds stupid, but a lot of people, when they are training other animals, will use dogs to help train the animals.
Hmm.
But the raptor would probably just eat the dog.
I just, well, I don't know because, I mean, they didn't attack humans and stuff.
Yeah.
It just could be interesting to see really their relationship with other animals because their relationship with each other, besides what we've seen with the herbivores, has been hostile. We've seen nothing but hostile.
Yeah. So I really like that news. I like how there isn't going to be another park. The way I see it is I want it to be like a cleanup crew on the island that's trying to like get whatever dinosaurs they can off that island and bring it somewhere else. And then wherever that place is will be interesting. But that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So, with all that being said, there's one more little bit of news about the Deadpool trailer. The Deadpool Red Band trailer and Green Band trailer have dropped, and I actually made a reaction video. It's on my channel. It's probably the one right before this one, but I really liked these trailers. I thought they were a lot of fun. And they're just funny as shit. Like the Red Band trailer especially, but I really like the way everything is working in this movie so far, and I expect really good things out of it. But what do you think about the trailers?
Um, really good.
Whoa!
Few jokes, miss. Not a lot, miss, but that Utah
Yeah,
joke.
yeah,
I actually live in Utah, so that joke's especially funny for me.
that's great.
It's so true.
Just
But it's really fun. Ha ha ha.
there was
But a lot of it's funny. I like how the movie starts and it's like, oh, it's gonna be conventional superhero fare, and then it's just like cuts to him on the bridge. Also, I do wish the Red Band trailer had left the cue the music line.
yeah, but that's in the Green Band trailer. It's a different shot, but it is in that trailer.
Also, my favorite part of the trailer, I've told this to you many a time, but I want to share it with you guys now. It's when he just goes, with his gun.
Yeah, he does like that pelvis thrust.
Yeah.
That's a really good shot.
It's funny. He's funny. Deadpool's
Yeah.
awesome. Also, I was actually watching this with a girl that does not find a lot of that stuff funny. She looked so mad at me, like laughing and stuff throughout the trailer, and I love that.
You know what
That's another great thing. But a sad part is I might have to go to that movie alone because of that fact.
You want to know what my favorite part is of that trailer?
What?
And I haven't told this to you. My favorite part of the trailer is after the SUV has flipped 1,000 times, and then the window opens and his hands just shoot out, and he goes, "Wait!" Because it's so fast and like loud and funny. I thought that was great. And then they did the line from that leaked footage, but they changed it up a little bit. because what was the original line? He's like, "You may ask why the red suit," and he's like, "Well, that's because bad guys can't see me bleed." And then he looks down at the SUV and he says, "I hope these guys are wearing their brown pants." And then in this trailer, he says, "You may ask me why I wear the red suit so bad guys can't see me bleed. This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants." So
that's better, actually.
Yeah. And then the guy looks down, and then Deadpool jumps out of the van and kills them all.
Also, Colossus looks great.
Oh, I know. You know what? That's actually a bit of news that I forgot. Is I can't remember the guy's name, who played Colossus in all the X-Men movies, but apparently he was offered to play Colossus in this movie, and he turned it down. Which I don't understand, but I guess they offered him a smaller amount of money since the budget is a lot smaller on this movie.
Who freaking cares?
Yeah, I don't care because this Colossus is way cooler looking. He looks massive.
It's not like Colossus was like, "Oh my gosh, dude, you're just freaking amazing." It's like, "Oh,
you're a big metal man."
Cool.
That's all Colossus is.
Except the Deadpool role.
In every X-Men movie, Colossus is like, "Oh, look at that big guy. He's made of metal now." That's about all the character development Colossus has in those movies. But anyway, segue. Not everything in the world of Marvel is bright and shiny and looks, bright to the future or something. Because we just saw Fantastic Four yesterday. And I gotta tell you, this movie is just about the worst movie ever in the world. What do you think?
It's the worst superhero movie ever made.
You know what's funny too is I was watching this movie and I heard all the stuff that was really bad about it, and I was like, you know what? I gotta go see this movie just so I can shit on it in the podcast. But I'm watching the movie for like the first half hour, and like the first act is fine. There's nothing wrong with it really. It's other than maybe like a bad line here or there. But like as far as that first little part of the movie, it's like a solid C.
You stole that from me.
Yeah, well, we agreed on it, so I used it. So shut up. So it's fine. It's fine in the first half hour. Like everything's working. Everything's like the score is kind of good, and like it feels like you're getting invested in a real superhero movie. And then they get their powers, and the movie just shits all over itself. And I got a few words for you: patterns, government, and my kids. Because that's all you're going to hear in this goddamn movie 1,000 times in a row. Is the government's bad, the government's the worst, everybody hates the government. You can recognize patterns from anything. If music's a pattern, and they make you anticipate the ending. And don't hurt my kids. You better not hurt my kids. That's
also,
the entire.
Can we talk about the time jump, which is the biggest sin in this movie?
Okay, so what happens in this movie is the first act is them basically leading up to the point where they build the portal, or the piece of technology that lets them teleport to the other dimension. And when they teleport to the other dimension, there's obviously the huge accident, and then they gain their powers, and then they get back to our dimension, and then it shows like the accident kind of unfolding, which I didn't think was a bad scene, because it was like you saw Ben was covered in rocks, and then you saw Johnny Storm was on fire, but it didn't look like he was, the Human Torch. It just looked like a body on fire, and it was really scary. And then you see.
Also, to their knowledge, their friend Victor died.
Yeah,
how many times is he mentioned when they get back? He's not mentioned a single time.
Not a single time. So what happens is
it's not even like, oh, Victor died in there, let's not do it. It's just like, no, let's just go in there.
Yeah. So what happens is they all pass out because, and I thought that scene was actually kind of cool when he's crawling to Johnny Storm. Or
No, it's
no,
crawling to
he was
bed.
crawling to bed. And you're right. I don't even give a shit. Anyway, so he's crawling, and then he looks back at his legs, and his legs had stretched the entire way he crawled because his legs were stuck under like a big piece of steel, and then he passed out. And I thought that was kind of funny. But then it immediately cuts to them all in like their own little rooms, where they're like laying in beds and they're examining their bodies and checking out their powers, and they're all unconscious. And
This movie makes every superhero movie of the past, like, what is it, like
10 years.
10 years, look golden. Everybody that hates Man of Steel, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up.
So-
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Go watch Fantastic Four.
Are you quoting Skylar right now?
Not on purpose.
But so
This movie is terrible.
they're in the rooms.
It's not even kind of terrible.
Yeah.
It's not even just like, oh yeah, it's just like fine. No, this
Also,
movie is terrible.
I didn't
This
say
is the worst movie I've seen in the past like 3 years. 4 years. I don't even know. This movie is bad.
it's
I hate it. I hate it.
so,
This is not even like the Fantastic Four typical characters to do. This is bad. This is very bad. This is not kind of bad. This is very, 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 very bad. Very bad. The actors in it, like Michael Jordan, this movie has made me scared to go see Creed. Because people saying that like the actors are fine in it. No, they're not. They're bad too. They are bad too. Am I wrong?
There's a lot of moments when they're acting where it kind of looks like they don't know if they're supposed to be acting or not. Like, oh, is this time to act? But so I gotta finish this because I don't want to lose. I don't want to stop. So they're all locked in their own rooms and they're examining their powers. And Reed Richards is able to get out of his straps. He wakes up, he's able to get out of his straps. And he crawls through the air duct. And he sees Ben Grimm in his room. And he's just a rock monster. And he's not even totally out of the... Like, he's got like a bunch of rocks around him that aren't part of his body. And he's like, help me, Reed, help me, Reed. And Reed's like, I can't. What do I do? I can't help you right now. And then he crawls out of the air duct, gets outside of the building, and then he escapes the building. And then a year passes. It's never...
Also,
they don't
like
show them learning how to... What?
These actors have zero chemistry.
They had no chemistry.
Even
and-
off camera, it's just like... I've watched like multiple interviews. They are the most awkward people together.
Dude, they're not even just
on their own,
awkward.
they're fine.
They're not even just awkward. It's like they have no emotions.
Every single one of them.
It's so weird. And we were talking about this before, too. But if you compare this movie to the old Fantastic Four movies...
The old Fantastic Four is better.
Yeah, if you look at that movie, it's like at least Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis had chemistry.
Yeah.
Because the two of them were fine. They weren't the problem with the movie. And they were fun to watch. Because they always had that little rivalry. So, I really think... Oh, God, this movie's a piece of shit. Anyway. So...
Also, this is the worst third act of a movie I've ever seen.
It just falls apart like a...
Okay, Open Water 2 is a better movie than Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
It totally is.
By the way, for anybody listening, I really want to do an audio commentary on Open Water 2. Because if you haven't seen Open Water 2...
It's the greatest thing.
You gotta see Open Water 2.
Don't spoil anything.
I won't spoil it for anybody. But let's just say, it's one of those movies where it's like, so goddamn stupid, that when you really think about the plot, it's the funniest goddamn thing on earth.
That's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
It's so funny, and it's not supposed... It's almost supposed to be a horror movie, I guess. But,
That movie... And when I mean, like, better, I don't mean just, like, more enjoyable. Like, Open Water 2 it's a terrible movie.
it's a horrible movie.
But
That's why it's so goddamn fun, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying even as like a movie tried to be good, Open Water 2 is better.
Yeah. So, let's keep going through this plot. After he escapes for the year, it passes. A year passes, and it just shows them, and they know how to use their powers. They've been working for the government, which, by the way, like I said, guys, government. They hate the government. Government's a bunch of bad people. And they need to get NASA in, and nobody likes the government or whatever. I hate it when nothing is explained and nothing makes any sense, and it's all just stupid plot devices that are nothing but plot devices. But so the year passes, they all know their powers, and then literally
Reed Richards shows up, and Dr. Doom shows up, then they fight over.
Yeah, and that's it. That's what happens. He shows up, and because they need to go back to the other dimension so they can find a way how to cure Johnny and Sue, because they're gonna use them for the government, so we gotta cure them before the government uses them. And
also, Thing is already being used by the government.
Yeah, Thing's been used, and he seems to be doing a good job. But
also, I can't remember what movie it was this year, but people were just saying that it's like got like the worst headbutt in history in it. This movie has the worst headbutt.
I was just gonna bring up the headbutt. It's the worst goddamn headbutt I've ever seen.
It doesn't even look like he connects, and Miles Teller goes way too far back.
And one of them is a CGI monster.
Yeah. It's CGI, and they couldn't make it look like it connected.
So, if you, like I said, it's the Thing headbutts Reed Richards, and it's like, if you're the Thing, I'm sorry, but don't headbutt a human. You're gonna kill him. I get that Reed Richards has like stretchy skin. He barely moves. It's the worst headbutt I've ever seen. I was just gonna bring that headbutt up, and the reason why this is funny for the people that are listening, me and Stupes have never once talked about this headbutt.
No.
We have never. We just both were going to talk about how bad this headbutt was. So they go and they find Reed Richards because they want to finish building the portal so they can go back and cure their powers. So the way they find him is with a stupid little plot device that they took directly from the movie After Earth. Which if you're taking anything from After Earth, that means your movie's shit. But
this movie's worse than After Earth.
I don't know. I've never seen After Earth. But I've just seen the bad reviews of it on YouTube.
This movie is worse than any M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Have you ever seen Lady in the Water and The Last Airbender?
I have not. I've seen The Last Airbender. This movie is worse than The Last Airbender.
Is it really? I've never seen The Last Airbender.
There's more action in The Last Airbender. There's more, like, freaking...
Okay, well, let me finish here with...
Also...
So they get Reed Richards
this place is fantastic, Anthony.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. Wait, stop.
It's fantastic.
Stop. So the way they catch him is earlier in the very beginning of the movie, pretty much, Miles Teller shows Sue Storm 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and he's like, look, this is one of my favorite books. It's about a man who built a submarine, and it goes deeper than any other thing that's ever been in the water before. And it was like just stupid. And then later they find him because they track his IP address, and his IP address is Captain Nemo, with like a 3 for an E and a 0 for an O. And I hate that shit. It's just bad plot devices. And then after they catch him, they rebuild the portal, which was actually already built. He just like changed a little bit of the code. And then they go to the other side. They don't go directly. They send other people. When they send other people, they get Dr. Doom. They find Dr. Doom. Yeah, well, we gotta call him. We'll just call him Doom, I guess. They find Doom. Let's call him Green Garbage Bag Monster. That's not his name.
Let's Garbage Pail.
Green Garbage Pail Monster. So they go to the other dimension and they find Green Garbage Pail Monster, and then they get him back. They bring him back to this dimension, And they're like, "Oh my God, he's alive! I forgot that we haven't talked about this person ever since he disappeared and got murdered." And or not murdered. He died, but he didn't die. So they get him back and they talk to him, and he's like, "My other world gave me power, and this power is something that you humans can't control or something." So he gets out of, like, he sits up and undoes all his buckles, and then he kills the government guy, who is Mr. Blue from the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, and then he walks through a hallway and he kills all those people.
That's actually not.
It's not a bad scene. It's cool. He walks through the hallway, and then everybody in the hallway he's just killing them with his mind. And then he gets to the other portal, or he gets to the portal or whatever, like he makes it out of nowhere somehow. And then, like, he's trying to, I guess, merge the two dimensions. And when he does that, the Fantastic Four show up, and they're like, "Okay, we gotta stop him." And then a blue light is shining in the sky, and they all try to hit him once by themselves,
Reed
and he takes them
Richards
all
is there
down.
for maybe 2 hours, it seems.
Yeah, right? So...
was he even there a day? That is an honest question.
No, he wasn't. I don't think so, at least. He was like, he literally said, "This is going to take me 10 minutes, maybe less." And then they did the thing. But,
at least put Reed Richards there and have him like, "Oh yeah, we're all learning how to use our powers."
So, they all do the thing. They're trying to stop Doctor Doom from ruining everything in the world. And then they all try to punch him one at a time, and it doesn't work, and Doctor Doom foils all their plans. And then they have, like, a really bad speech where he's like, he's stronger than any one of us, but he's not stronger than all of us. And then they go and they, like, fight him at the same time, and then they put him in the portal, and then he disintegrates. And then the movie's like, "Okay, he's dead, we're out of the dimension."
Oh, you're so cocky, Reed, always thinking that you're smarter than me.
Oh my God, I am smarter than you. Now! Then the thing punches him into the portal. So they save the day or whatever, and they get back.
I honestly thought Doctor Doom was going to go back into the dimension, and then they were going to band together and, like, use their powers and, like, learn how to fight as a team. I didn't think they were just going to go straight in and fight him.
Yeah, I know, and it was just bad, and everything looked bad, and none of it made any sense, and it was all bad dialogue and bad everything, and, I mean...
This is one of the worst third
It's
acts
really
I've ever
one of
seen.
the worst movies. And, I mean... Literally, that entire part I told you about Doctor Doom, from when he gets there to when the movie ends, that's how long he's in the movie.
Anthony,
he's literally in it for 5 minutes.
Do you remember what I said to you reading the early Fantastic Four reviews?
I do not remember.
Come on, about the originals.
About the originals?
I told you what was scaring me. You really don't remember? I
Um,
said that the thing that was scaring me the most...
the thing that was scaring him the most about this movie when he read the reviews is that not a single person said at least it's better than the first one.
Not a single person.
Not a single person. And it's the lowest rated one on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, I think it has a 8 or 7% right now.
This movie deserves like a 1.
And then the first Fantastic Four has like a 20.
I'm not super...
I don't know. There are definitely zeros. Like
This
Jaws 3D or something is a 0.
This movie's not a 0.
It's not a 0 because it's got a fine 30 minutes in the beginning. They're just fine.
But it's definitely like a 2.
Yeah, it's really bad.
This movie is like... This is worse than Batman and Robin. That's not kidding. That's not overreacting.
It's really just a shitty movie. And then we got to talk about the end. So the day is saved. The government's like, "We want to give you a deal." And they were like, "No, how about we do what we want and you give us what we want and that'll be it." And they're like, "Fine, whatever." And then they show them going to their lab. They all fly to the lab, and then like that was literally just endless bad dialogue. That entire last 5 minutes was just nothing but bad dialogue. So the first thing that I remember, Johnny Storm looks at the entire lab, and out of nowhere is like, "Oh, I totally call that corner." And there's nothing special about that corner. It's all just a bunch of CGI random stuff. It's like, "Oh, I totally call that part," and I was like, "That's stupid." And then it was like, "Oh, we should name this place or something." And then he was like, "Hey, what should we name our group? Because we're kind of like a team now, so we should have a name." That was what Reed Richards said. And then Johnny Storm was like, "How about the Human Torch and the Torchettes?" And then he was like, "Or how about the group of superheroes and the thing that nobody wanted or whatever?" And then the thing went to go like hit him or something, and then Reed Richards is like, "It's okay, we all know you can take him." And then
I actually like that. Johnny Storm is the most unlikable person.
I liked it in the trailer, and then when it happened in the movie, I didn't like it. I don't know if that was because it was a different take, maybe, or it was because I just watched 2 hours of a shitty movie, and then I was just put off. But then the way it ends is, like Ben Grimm, the Thing. He basically just like, "Man, you know what though? This place is fantastic." And then Reed Richards is like, "Say that again?" And then he's like, "It's fantastic." And then Reed Richards is like, "Hey guys, I think I got a name." And then it just cuts and it goes, "Fantastic Four" on the big screen. And it's just the worst goddamn ending. Now, other complaints I have about this movie is there's a million shots in the trailers that are not in the movie. There were shots of the trailer with Doctor Doom shooting like green lasers out of his fingertips. That's what they looked like his green magic power. And not once does he even have that power base in this movie. Did you notice that?
I'd rather watch Ned Stark's head get cut off again than watch this movie.
Yeah, I'd rather watch The Red Wedding. But and then another thing, apparently, all that stuff about Josh Trank showing up on set being like a super horrible negative person and being high and drunk, like, and just destroying. I've heard that that's actually true.
So have I.
And then I think the greatest thing that came out of this movie is
the guy that plays
Simon
Storm.
No, I was going to say the man who wrote this movie, Simon Kinberg, who also wrote Days of Future Past, said after the movie came out, like, yeah, the Fantastic Four and the X-Men are not in the same universe. They're in different universes. They're parallel universes.
Also, the guy, like I said, the guy that plays Franklin Storm is not bad.
He's not a bad actor. It's just he has bad dialogue a lot of the times. And then a horrible, wasted, stupid death. And I mean, everything in this movie was wasted. That's the biggest problem with it, is they took good source material and they took an interesting twist on it and like just a cool idea, and they wasted every bit of it. There's not a part of this movie
also,
that
do you remember those reports that we would see the blue suits?
Yeah.
Lies!
But you know what? They weren't blue, but they did have new suits at the end.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was mostly Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic had got a brand new suit. But it's really just it's stupid. So, but that was the thing where there's not a single X-Men reference or mutant reference in this movie, and from what I understand,
thank goodness.
Yeah, thank God. From what I understand, the way it was going to work is, if the movie was received well and if it made enough money, then Fox would be like, yeah, they're in the same universe and there'll be a crossover. But now that it's gotten 8% on Rotten Tomatoes and not a single person liked it, everybody's like, at Fox is like, yep, they're in different universes. This didn't
Also,
work.
I feel bad because I'm glad they don't, because X-Men worked so hard to get back on top.
Yeah, I know, and I've been saying that too. Is like X-Men for the past couple movies have done very well. Like,
Well, I think the Wolverine is actually not as good as a lot of people say it is.
yeah, I don't think the Wolverine's very good either. I just think it's kind of bland. You know what I mean? There's nothing special about it. I think it's still. I think there's good stuff in it. Don't get me wrong.
Everyone's
And
just
Hugh
like,
Jackman's great. In it.
everyone's just like, thank God it's not terrible.
Yeah, thank God it's not Origins, but. And then, I mean, I really like First Class, and I really like Days of Future Past. I thought those two movies.
I prefer First Class to Days of Future Past.
I prefer it too.
That's something. I know this is off topic, but it's a little something that's scaring me about Apocalypse. Matthew Vaughn is not involved with it.
Yeah, but Bryan Singer is, and Bryan Singer has done nothing but make great X-Men movies.
The first one's not great.
The first one's certainly great for the time. Now it's outdated. But
X2 is definitely a great movie.
X2, I still think that's probably the best one.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I go back and forth because I really prefer First Class to Days of Future Past. Not by that much, but a little bit. It just has a little edge. And then but at the same time, I acknowledge I hate the Mutant and Proud part of that movie. You know, that was the worst delivery ever. Mutant and Proud, like they never stopped with that. But that's the thing with Bryan Singer is I don't think Bryan Singer knows how to make a bad X-Men movie. So hopefully Apocalypse will be great. That with that said, what was I was just gonna say? So yeah, the X-Men universe and the Fantastic Four universe aren't connected, and I have a sneaking suspicion that there are only two possibilities with this franchise now. Is you either wait 7 years and then make a new one, kind of like they did with the last Fantastic Four movie, because that's what their contract limit is. They have 7 years, and if they don't make a movie in 7 years, then they can't keep them. But
you want to know something else that's kind of frustrating about this?
Yeah,
I have no idea who to blame.
I know who to blame.
Everyone's just pointing fingers at each other.
I blame most of the people. That's who I blame. I blame Josh Trank. I blame Fox. I blame some of the actors. I blame Simon Kinberg. I blame all of them because they all had a hand in making a bad movie. So, I was saying though, here's what I think is going to happen. What?
I haven't seen a movie since I saw the Fantastic Four.
You haven't seen a movie?
No.
Like Fantastic Four is so bad it just turned you off to movies?
No, I just don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go see The Gift tomorrow, and I heard that movie's just really good.
Yeah, I heard it's great. I think I'm going to see Mission Impossible tomorrow.
But I don't know. I hope it's good. I hope anything. You know what? I think I'll watch Saving Private Ryan tonight. I need a good movie.
Dude, you need a movie you need like a comedy, one that'll make you laugh. Something that like it'll put a smile on your face. Because Saving Private Ryan does not put a smile on my face.
I don't need a smile. I need a freaking good time.
Yeah, a good time is a smile. But
Saving Private Ryan, I'm just saying that's like one of the best made movies ever.
So yeah, it's a very well made movie. It's brutal, but anyway, so what do you think the chances of this movie getting a sequel are, and then do you think that the rights will go back to Marvel now?
Marvel buys the rights. They better buy them for under $1 million.
Because here's what I think. The thing that's going on right now is Fox wants to make an X-Men TV show. Like, they want to put a lot of money into it, and they want to make a big, epic X-Men TV series, which I'm all for. I think that'll be cool. If they could do it with the right budget, I think it can work. But they can't make this TV show unless Kevin Feige and Disney Marvel give them the go-ahead on it. And what a lot of people... What?
Why is that? Can you explain that?
I don't know why. I think it's because Fox doesn't entirely own the TV rights. I think they have some little stake in it, but basically the entire existence of that show is riding on Kevin Feige. And the way it seems to be working right now, or at least what everybody's speculating, is Fox is going to go into this negotiation saying, we want the X-Men TV show, we want to do this, and we want to do that, and they have to get the approval of them. And then Kevin Feige is going to go, okay, you could have your show, we just want Fantastic Four. So I think that might happen. Because I don't know what Fox could do with this franchise. What could they do with it? They've made 4 horrible movies in a row. Like, where do they take it? And then, not only that, but this movie's not going to make money. It's already expected to bomb.
I'll tell you where they can take it.
What, you know,
they can take it and shove it.
Yeah. I am so worried that this movie or this franchise is gonna shit on. Or nice, it's gonna sit. It's gonna sit. It's gonna sit on Fox's shelf, and for 7 years, and then they're gonna reboot it. I do not want that. I don't think they can make a sequel to this movie, man. Because nobody liked this one. Who's gonna go and see the second one?
Also, they're not. There's no other good villain besides Doctor Doom.
They killed one of the best comic book villains of all time.
And Doctor Doom has to be one of the easiest comic book characters to do. Not even like villains, but just characters, period, to do. And we've had 3 movies with them. And they can't do it.
And he's way better in the first 2. He's so much better in the first 2 than this one. Like I said, that scene is cool when he's killing the people with his mind. But I mean, he literally says
talk about
3
his
sentences.
design real quick.
Yeah, and we have differing opinions on this.
This is the worst comic book design I've ever seen.
Here's my opinion on this design: is it doesn't look that much like Doctor Doom, but I don't think the design is necessarily bad. I thought it was cool, like, in the trailers. I still think, like, as a design, it's not horrible. I completely acknowledge.
Told me about to show up.
I thought he had a mask, but he didn't. But the thing with the design of it is, the way I view it is, if this movie was good, I don't think people would complain about that design. There have certainly been much worse designs, I think. I agree that it doesn't look like Doctor Doom from the comics, but I mean, still, this isn't Doctor Doom from the comics. This is just a bad character. But I don't take fault with this design.
Also, this isn't the worst comic book design ever.
What is? Did you realize one that was worse?
Yeah. Are you ready? I have the best answer.
Okay, let's hear it.
Galactus.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst comic book design ever.
Yeah, he was a cloud.
That is, yeah. Sorry, Doctor Doom.
Ironically, in a Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
And that's really funny too, because Silver Surfer, I think, is one of the really great comic book designs.
Oh my gosh, Galactus, you piece of trash.
Yeah.
Fantastic Fox, you piece of trash.
I can't
figure out why they have such a hard time making a Fantastic Four movie. It doesn't seem like it'd be that hard.
I've been saying, man, just make this negotiation go through with Disney. Give Disney back the Fantastic Four. Because you know why? Disney already made a great Fantastic Four movie called The Incredibles. So we know that they can make that movie. There's no denying they can make a Fantastic Four movie. For some reason, Fox has no idea how to make it.
I don't even care, man. I don't care.
Yeah,
About
that's the thing too.
I'm not gonna read a comic for a long time. I'm not gonna watch a TV show. I'm not gonna go back and watch anything. Forget it. Forget them. Throw them away. Throw them away.
The sad reality of this movie is it's taking from really great source material, and because of this movie, it's either gonna sit on a shelf for 7 years, or it's gonna go back to Marvel, and Marvel's not gonna do anything with that property for like 10 years. You know what I mean? It's just a bad case for all of us, you know, because the Fantastic Four are great characters, and Doctor Doom is one of the greatest villains of all time, and they could make this movie work. They could make it work, and they just haven't. And because it hasn't worked in the movie, we're all going to lose out on these characters. And
now,
people
when
are
I said like take the Fantastic Four and do nothing with it, I mean like with the four. Take Doctor Marvel. You need Doctor Doom right now.
Dude, not and
you
also
need it.
take Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom would be great. Put him in anything. Then also you get Silver Surfer, great character. You get Galactus. That's a great villain for like an Avengers movie.
Also, that's where Marvel struggles. They struggle with their villains, and Fantastic Four has two of the best ones.
Yeah, so that would be great.
Fantastic Four for Doctor Doom. Don't do anything with the Fantastic Four. Just get Doctor Doom.
Also, another thing about is Kang the Conqueror also in that deal? Because I
believe it would be, and Kang's also he's a Thanos level character.
Yeah, Kang is probably even crazier than a Thanos level character. Like Thanos without the gauntlet, or maybe even with just a couple of the gems. I think Kang is more powerful.
Because he's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's like freaking crazy, been all over time and space, and can change like the fabric of reality. But I don't know for a fact that he's involved with the Fantastic Four bundle of characters in that contract, but he very well could be.
Also, he'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, I know for a fact that King is at Fox. But that's that question. Would they get King? But
maybe they could do Kang in the next Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah,
that's actually the only other villain I
can
think of.
I swear, if they do a sequel to this movie and they make it Fantastic Four 2, Dawn of the Silver Surfer, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna kill somebody. I can't. They can't do this. This is the worst goddamn movie ever. And you know what my favorite part of this movie was? When I was walking out of the theater and I overheard a guy say, "I can't believe I paid for that." That's my favorite part of the movie. Also, another thing.
Hey, what's the worst movie of last year?
Worst movie of 2014? I'm not sure. What would be your pick?
Give me some movies.
What? The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was bad. Wasn't this bad.
Yeah, no. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a better movie than this.
And that's crazy.
That movie sucks.
I never thought I'd ever say that. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 completely manages to destroy the character of Spider-Man, and it was so bad that it forced Sony to make a deal with Marvel to bring Spider-Man into the friggin' Marvel universe.
But at least stuff happened.
Yeah, exactly. At least stuff happened. At least that movie had action beats. At least that movie kind of gave a shit with the actors and had something to it. I can't believe I'm defending The Amazing Spider-Man 2 right now. I despise that movie, but it's better than this movie. Like, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 feels like a C+ compared to Fantastic Four. And generally, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is an F in my book. Another few bad movies from last year are Transformers 4 Annie, and God's Not Dead.
Oh man, is this movie worse than Transformers 4?
I say it is.
I don't think it is.
It's
'Cause at least I
definitely
didn't have to
shorter.
sit there for 3 freaking hours.
Yeah, but at least in Transformers 4 stuff happened.
I'd rather watch Fan 4 stick again.
I'd probably watch it too because I hate Transformers 4. But
It's so long.
it's like 3 goddamn hours.
So yeah, congratulations, Transformers. You fucking... Oh, crap!
Jesus.
I don't do that.
Stupes, you gotta watch the language. Wow.
Shut up, Anthony.
I never even cursed in this podcast except for the S word.
I don't like Transformers.
It's really bad.
I can't. I don't like this movie either.
Is there anything else to talk about?
I don't know. I don't even want to talk anymore.
Let's give it a final score out of 10. 1 out of 10.
0.
Or 0 to 10. You give it a 0 out of 10?
Did I give it out of 100? It gets a 2 out of 100.
It gets a 2 out of 100.
A 2.
2% out of 100.
2.
I'm gonna be gracious, I guess.
Then you're gonna lie.
The way I think of it is this movie has a solid, I guess, first act. The second and third act are complete nonsense trash. So, the fact that the first act is solid, the way I split it is the first act is 33% of the movie. Since the first act isn't amazing, and it's just solid, I will cut that in half. So I give it 15 out of 100. So 1.5 out of 10.
The movie's a 2.
2 out of 100.
The movie is a 2.
I give it a 15 out of 100. That's my score. One and a half
I
out
totally
of 10.
zoned out when Sue Storm walked in on Reed Richards. And it's like, what? Why do you two like each other? What? Oh, do you two like each other? What?
With the chemistry they had, I felt like every time the cameras turned off, they were stabbing each other with pencils or something. Like that's how much they hated each other.
None of the actors talk to one another.
Yeah.
Toby Kebbell in the interviews is the only one. Anthony, link
Yes.
them to the Transformers interview, to the Fantastic Four superhero interview.
I'll put a link in the description.
There's like 5 bad interviews, guys. Also, there's one where these 2 weirdos keep on talking about like Kate Mara and her stupid feet or her hair. Those guys are so weird.
I don't think I saw that.
They hadn't seen the movie. They had no idea what questions to ask.
So they were talking about her
Nobody was allowed
feet?
to see the movie. Nobody was allowed to see the movie. Also, this whole cast. I watched like a Miles Teller interview for this movie. These people have no idea what to talk about. They made the movie a year ago. They have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and not only that, but I don't think they knew what part of their which scenes they filmed were going to be in the movie, because this movie, they edited out so much of this movie. They filmed so much in this movie, and they just, nobody knew what to do with it. And that's probably why they never let the actors see it, because they were probably editing this thing till the day of release.
Also, their Comic-Con panel sucks too.
Yeah, there's not been a single bit of promotional anything other than the trailers that have worked. Like, I think the Fantastic Four trailers were fine. There's nothing wrong with those trailers.
Except it's a complete Interstellar ripoff.
It's whatever. There's an Interstellar ripoff shot, and it's like, okay, Interstellar invented corn anyway. It's like, but now if you watch the movie, I'm telling you, half the shit in those trailers is not in this movie. It's just not in there. This movie has nothing to it. It's just bad. I feel like it is. It's the absolute worst.
Your dirty poop mouth. Poop.
And I wouldn't have seen this movie, but I felt obligated to see it. And I even told Stupes that he had to see it. so we could have this conversation in this podcast and just shit all over it. Because if I can't enjoy a Fantastic Four movie, you're damn well sure I'm gonna shit all over it. So please leave in the comments how much you hated this movie, and if you liked it, then
what do you think the worst part of the movie was?
Yeah, that's a fun little question. What is the worst part of the movie? Put it down in the description.
Doctor Doom.
I'm calling, like, as far as the worst shot, I'm gonna just go with the headbutt.
That's really bad too.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
This movie is bad.
Okay, so anyway, I think we're out of topic, so I'm gonna remind everybody once again, please leave a comment and subscribe, and right when you do the comment, if you want to be in the next podcast, put hashtag #PickMe at the end of it, and hopefully we will find somebody awesome to be in the next podcast. So good luck to everybody on that. And then in general, like this video, comment, subscribe to this channel. We're going to be putting out a lot of stuff, so I think you'll enjoy it. It seems like everybody else is enjoying it, so thank you if you are. And then I guess all I have left to say is don't waste your money on Fantastic Four. I don't know. Do you have any parting words, Stupes?
I hate my life. This was so bad.
It was really horrible. Just a horrible guy.
Not even a little bit horrible.
It's like generally all over the place horrible. But hey, without Batman and Robin, we wouldn't have gotten Batman Begins. Without The Amazing Spider-Man 2, we wouldn't have gotten Spider-Man back in the Marvel Universe. Who knows what potential this movie could bring us? Right? You never know.
I never want to see these characters again.
I want to see them because they haven't been done justice, and it's a bummer. Because they're great characters.
I want to see these characters in a couple of years at Marvel.
Yeah, that's what's gonna. They're Fantastic Four. If it goes back to Marvel, it's Phase 4.
It's Phase 5.
No, they'd probably roll it out in Phase 4.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fantastic Four could be a really good movie.
Yeah. Also, if you're still here, follow me on Twitter. But
I actually tweeted about this movie.
Yeah, I tweeted it. I tweeted about it too. I wrote that.
The best part of my Fantastic Four experience was the Star Wars trailer.
I wrote that I saw Fantastic Four, and that I went to the doctor this morning to see if I got cancer from it, and then the doctor recommended Cap 2 to feel better. So.
Write in the comments whose tweet was better.
Woo! And then
I win.
If you want to go to my Twitter, if you just go to the top of my channel, there'll be a link in the top right corner, so you can just do that, or you can just go on your Twitter and look up @_ and Thanos, and then the channel name is We Talk About Stuff, just like, or the Twitter name is We Talk About Stuff, just like the channel name. So, thank you guys for listening, and flame on. It's clobbering time.
Flame off.
Flame off.
Flame
Wait a
off.
minute. I forgot about...
That's a pretty awesome tweet.
I got one last thing to complain about. You ready?
Jeez Louises.
You ready? I forgot to mention this. Denny's. Denny's has 4 menu items. They have a Thing Burger, which makes sense because it's a burger and it looks like the Thing. Like, they made the burger look like the Thing because they put, like, cheese on the bun or something. Then there is a Human Torch, like, skillet, which has jalapenos in it and, like, hot sauce. And then there's, like, a Mr. Fantastic omelet, which makes no goddamn sense, and an Invisible Woman breakfast with, like, pancakes and fruit and other things. And they make
no sense.
They make no goddamn sense. And if Denny's menu is any indication on the movie, then we should have been aware of how bad this movie was going to be months ago.
I took a girl to Denny's.
Woo!
Um,
And that's all you have to say about
She told me she wanted a super fantastic, fancy dinner.
that.
I took her to Denny's.
That's a great
I'm
story.
a baller.
My fondest memory of Denny's is I went to Denny's with like 15 friends, and we were the loudest, most obnoxious assholes on earth. And like nobody left any tips, so I tipped the waitress like $30. I was like, I'm sorry. That's my Denny's memory. Denny's, you're an American classic.
We have good Denny's memories. Memories like Breaking Bad.
I don't know why that's a good memory. It really felt horrible, and they like gave the waitress such a hard time. And I that's what I did. I was like, they all left, and I stayed behind, and I left her a $30 tip. That poor woman.
Shout out to Denny's waitresses.
Shout out to Denny waitresses. Denny's, woo!
If you like Denny's, leave a comment.
Yeah. I had a friend that worked at Denny's once. That's another memory. Woo! Awesome. Alright, guys. Podcast is probably way too long. Bye. See you later. Flame on. Flame off.
Flame off.
Flame off.